Hello, hello. My name's Katie. Welcome in if this is your first time here. I am your 12th house guide. If this landed on your page, it might be for you. If this doesn't resonate, just go ahead and keep scrolling. I am an intuitive guide and astrologer. And if you're interested in booking a personal reading, extended info about your chart, find the link in my bio, and you can like and follow for more of this content. Today I wanted to do a reading for the full moon in Capricorn. As most of y'all know or maybe aware, there is a full moon tonight in the sign of Capricorn, which is our hardworking, industrious sea goat, ruled by Saturn. So lots of themes around responsibility, karmic debts being cleared, and really like learning our lessons when it comes to responsibility. So I have some cards that came out I wanted to pull first before I got on here. But as I was shuffling and I just asked for a general message about the collective, the Sun card here popped up. Which sometimes when I'm shuffling and I don't really know the theme, whatever pops out is like kind of that overarching message. So I think the theme of this message is that it truly is about your long-term happiness, and what it's going to take to sort of get you to that sun place, that place of just like eternal, this is amazing, feeling. So that's where I'm going to start. What I'm seeing here is that there is something that has to do with this full moon, has to do with your wish fulfillment. So something you've been desiring, wanting, wishing for is coming about with this full moon. Nine of Cups there. So what came up next was the reverse Knight of Swords, which normally this is about moving fast action. So reversed here would tell me there's some delays to moving towards your wish fulfillment. But it has to do with closing these karmic cycles, the world, and that when those cycles are completed and when that karmic debt is paid, that then judgment has finally been given. So judgment also is very much like sort of like the Libra card of the deck. It's all about balancing the scales. And apologies for the dogs growling in the background. Maybe that's confirmation. But that Libra's all about like that balance, restoring sort of harmony. What's that phrase I'm thinking of from that movie? Like order has been restored to the force. It's essentially like when things are off balance, it will bring it back into equilibrium. So that's the energy that I'm sensing from the first few cards that I pulled. And I pulled a few more that I'll go into. But I really feel like those first few are, this is about your, some kind of like wish fulfillment to bring you to your eternal happiness in the sun. But it's not coming at you fast, but it is closing out a karmic cycle for you. And once that's paid, it's like you've paid your debt. The judgment is over. The next card I got was the Six of Cups. Now this is all about childhood nostalgia. I think this could maybe mean that some of what you're dealing with these karmic cycles, the root of it may go back to something that you've experienced in childhood. Maybe that's childhood. Oh, the crown of my head is tickling. Something that you've like endured in childhood, whether that be like a trauma, might be unintentional. But yeah, something about this going back to childhood is what's going to help you close out these cycles, and bring you your fulfillment. Now, the next card, King of Wands. So, Wands is fire energy. This is like somebody who's very driven, passionate. They have a lot of determination, so they can really like kickstart things, initiate things, but sometimes this drive, intense ambition, can lead to burnout and stress. Four of Swords reversed, and Two of Wands reversed. So this can mean kind of like disorganized, like lacking direction. And I know too that the Knight of Swords in reverse can mean like pushing through and going like for something with a lot of like willpower, force, determination, but ultimately like not realizing the consequences of going at that full speed. Yeah, the other thing that I saw that was at the bottom of the deck that you can't see is Seven of Pentacles. So it's interesting. There were no pentacles on the jumping cards that came out. The other pattern I noticed with the cards that came out are that the sword cards are all reversed. Excuse me. Swords are all about mental energy. It's very much an air sign quality. But what I'm sensing here is maybe that where you're getting tripped up is in that that mental ability, either like in not so much like an overthinking, but like this energy of the King of Wands, the Two of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Swords reversed is like you have all this like vision and determination and drive and passion, but like candles can burn out if they're just going on fumes, fire alone. As a fire sign, I identify with this a lot. But these two energies are like the candle burns out essentially. And this mental processing place where you're getting hung up is, it's like that's the secret to being able to learn how to harness that fire energy, that like passion, drive, determination. Like how can you harness that energy in a way that works with your mind instead of your mind is working against that determination and drive. At least that's how I'm reading this message. So, with all that information, let's see what is the advice for the person watching this to move out of the reverse sword energy? What's the advice here, Spirit? Oh. Strength, but in the reverse. So 8 might be a sign for you. This has the infinity, which is an 8 sideways. 8 is it's the 8th card in the major arcana. There's also Leo energy here, so there's more fire, adding to that wand kind of fire energy. But the strength in reverse here, it's almost like there's like you're being asked to like go within instead of like continuing that like pushing forward type of energy and like I can do this, I got this. Maybe there is like some kind of strength in either like, I'm gonna say, oops, sorry. Stop. Some strength in like hibernating or like kind of going with it, not like isolating completely, but like solitude essentially is kind of what I'm getting here. And bottom of the deck is the 4 of Wands, what you can't see. So that's very much like reunion, happy ending card. So can we get another card clarifying the strength here? One more card clarifying the strength. And then sometimes the cards get stubborn when you're talking to a Capricorn. Whoop, popped out. The Magician. Yeah. So I really take that to mean as like, oh, and there's 4 major arcanas. 5, excuse me. Strong message. Very strong message. The Magician here is asking you to like transmute the energy. So I know a theme that I have been hearing other astrologers, energy workers talk about with this full moon is the like, yes, it feels harsh, but it's almost like it's like a harsh lesson in order to make you learn. And if you learn, then it's constructive, right? But if you don't learn, then you're just repeating the same behaviors and it's just going to come through in another vessel. So whatever is coming at you with this full moon, how can you take that lesson and really like integrate it into your being, whether it's like behavioral, could be communication based, could be, like no longer abandoning yourself, having boundaries with your own self. Or like, yeah, there was a lesson I should have learned like 3 years ago and I've been dragging my feet and now it's coming back up again, in a harsher way. And so, even those energies that can sometimes be uncomfortable, there's a healthy version of it. So there is anger that's healthy. For instance, if you want to talk about like what's happening right now with people who have uteruses and Roe v. Wade. The anger that people are feeling is healthy to enact change. But if we get angry and we don't do anything about it, active shooters, what's the lesson there? We're just going to keep repeating these same cycles, and the reason why we came here into a body is to move past these cycles. So, Daddy Saturn might feel a little harsh right now. I know it does for me. But I know that the lesson that I am learning is one that I've needed, and it is time to integrate that. And like, whatever lesson is coming up for you, just know that there's some reason or purpose behind it. For you to grow, really, is the main purpose. So, bottom of the deck is the Tower. Just let it crumble. Like, I sort of feel like the Tower is not at the bottom because I can very visibly see that things are crumbling. But, you know, someone that I used to know told me once that destruction is creation's best friend. And in times in my life when it feels like things are just crumbling, I remind myself that it's like, it's a chance to build fresh and start with a new foundation. So yeah, let's, I'm going to get a couple messages from the Oracle deck. So this is the Angel Oracle deck. Angels, what's the advice here for the person or people watching this video? It's the advice from the angels. You have a guardian angel. So I love the imagery here because this girl is like crying. But there's a beautiful angel that she can't see, just like right beside her. So while you're going through this, know that you do have a guardian angel, and the bottom of the deck is Archangel Michael, the angel that's everything everywhere all at once. So you can't see, but he's with you too. So final advice from the Moonology deck, because it's a full moon, so why wouldn't we ask the stars? Woo! Way too many. Way too many. Let's start over with those. Okay, starseed. What's the message you have? Some advice for the person watching this. Sorry, shuffling's a little sticky today. Okay. Take time to breathe it out. So disseminating moon, that's like releasing, letting yourself breathe. Also, how can you bring love into this situation? So there might be a lot of things that are going on right now that are causing you to feel fear, which is totally normal. But how can we balance that out? Bring love into the situation, see how you might be able to release those fears that you have around the towers that are crumbling in your life. I hope some of this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, like I said, you can find information on my socials. I'm at 12th House Guide on Instagram and TikTok. You can also find my website under my info on there. And yeah, just reach out or follow here for more collective readings. Bye, y'all.